The rain over Glasgow had a way of softening everything, the stone buildings, the neon lights, even the sharp edges of gossip. Sam Heughan watched it streak across the cafe window, his hands wrapped around a mug gone cold. For weeks now, the tabloids had been buzzing. Rift between co-stars, tensions on set, friendship in tatters. The headlines were relentless. Across the city, Caitríona Balfe sat in a quiet hotel lounge, her phone face down, unread notifications piling up. She too had seen the stories. She too felt the sting. They had shared years of work, laughter, long nights on set, and yet, with one photograph taken out of context, the world decided they were enemies. Sam's phone buzzed again, a text from Caitríona. "We need to talk. Face to face." He typed back, "Agreed. Where?" The cafe door swung open with a jingle of bells. Sam looked up from his untouched coffee and saw Caitríona step inside, rain on her coat, eyes tired but steady. For a heartbeat, neither of them moved. All the noise of gossip columns and social media seemed to fade into a hush around them. She approached the table. "Hi," she said simply. "Hi," Sam echoed. She hung her coat and sat across from him. The waiter appeared, sensing the tension, and silently placed a fresh pot of tea on the table before retreating. Sam poured it out for her without asking, just like he used to on set between takes. A small, automatic gesture of familiarity. They both spoke at once. "I'm sorry." They both stopped, then smiled faintly, a crack of warmth in the cool air. Caitríona lowered her gaze to the steaming tea. "I can't believe how bad it's gotten," she murmured. "Every day another headline. People tagging me, tagging you. They think we hate each other." Sam rubbed a hand over his face. "I know. It's insane. We spent years building something good, and now one photo and some wild speculation and suddenly we're sworn enemies." A silence stretched between them, filled with the patter of rain against the windows. Sam studied her face, the fine lines of exhaustion and sadness. He remembered the early days on set, the long hours, the jokes whispered between takes. They'd built a kind of unspoken trust, and he hated that a few headlines had managed to fracture it. Caitríona spoke again, softer this time. "It's not just the press. The fans have picked it up. They're fighting each other online. It feels like everything we created together is turning into a battlefield." Sam nodded slowly. "That's why I wanted to meet. We can't control what people write, but we can control what we do. I don't want this to poison us." She looked at him then, really looked at him. "Neither do I." They sipped their drinks. Outside, a bus splashed through a puddle, sending ripples of water across the pavement. Sam thought about how strange fame was, how it could turn camaraderie into spectacle, how it could feed on silence and twist it into stories. Finally, Caitríona reached across the table and put her hand over his. "Let's tell each other the truth," she said. "No PR, no polite interviews, just us." Sam's throat tightened. "The truth is," he said, "I've missed this. Talking to you, feeling like we're on the same side." Her eyes glistened, but she smiled. "Me too." For the first time in weeks, a weight began to lift between them. For a while they sat without speaking, just listening to the rain. It wasn't awkward anymore. It was the quiet of two people finally safe enough to drop the guard. Caitríona stirred her tea, then set the spoon down. "Do you remember the first table read?" she asked suddenly. Sam chuckled. "How could I forget? I was late, soaked from the rain. You offered me half your sandwich." She smiled. "You looked terrified. I thought, this guy needs a friend. You were the first one who made me laugh," Sam said softly. "Between the scripts and the camera tests, you made it feel like a family." Caitríona's smile faded into something gentler. "That's why this hurts so much. We built something real, and now the world thinks we're, what? Rivals? Enemies?" Sam's jaw tightened. "I guess it started when I couldn't make your charity gala. People saw us not together and built a story around it. Then the photo from that wrap party. She sighed. "The one where you walked past me without saying hello. They cropped out the part where I was on the phone." "Exactly." Sam shook his head. "They don't want reality. They want drama." Her fingers traced the rim of her cup. "But maybe we helped them. We stopped talking as much. We let the distance grow. We didn't correct the rumors." Sam exhaled through his nose. "Because we were tired. Because every word we say gets twisted. Because sometimes silence feels safer." They sat with that truth for a moment. The cafe hummed with quiet conversations, the hiss of the espresso machine, the warmth of the radiators. Outside, umbrellas drifted by like dark flowers. Caitríona looked up. "I don't want to lose what we had," she said simply. "Not because of them. Not because of this." Sam's eyes softened. "Neither do I. You were the best part of this whole crazy ride." She reached into her bag and pulled out her phone. On the screen was a photo of the two of them from their first season, young, smiling, holding coffee cups at dawn. She slid it across the table to him. "This is who we are," she said. "Not the headlines." Sam stared at the photo. A lump rose in his throat. "We could show them," he murmured. "Not for PR, for us. Tell the truth. Tell them we're fine." Caitríona tilted her head. "An interview? Maybe not even that. A post. A message. Something honest. From both of us." She hesitated. "Will they believe us? Does it matter?" Sam asked. "We'll know. We'll stop letting strangers write our story." A slow smile spread across her face, the first real one in weeks. "Okay," she said, "let's do it." Sam reached across the table again, and this time she clasped his hand without hesitation. It felt like a truce, a promise, and a beginning all at once. Outside, the rain had slowed to a fine mist, the clouds parting just enough to let a pale light through. The next morning, the city was still wet from the night's rain. Sam woke to a phone full of notifications. Headlines, fan debates, speculation. The storm had only grown overnight. But for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel crushed under it. He thought of Caitríona's hand on his across the cafe table, of the photo she'd shown him, and felt a steady sense of resolve. He texted her, "Meet at my place. We can plan." Her reply came instantly, "On my way." An hour later she arrived, hair still damp from the mist, holding a bag of pastries. They sat at his kitchen table, laptops open, phones buzzing. For a few moments they simply ate, no words, like colleagues on a quiet morning between scenes. Finally Caitríona said, "If we're going to do this, it has to be our voice. Not a PR statement." Agreed, Sam said. No rehearsed sound bites. Just us. They spent the morning scrolling through years of photos, behind-the-scenes laughs, road trips between filming locations, the charity work they'd done together. Each image was a reminder of the friendship beneath the roles, of a history deeper than any rumor. "This one," Caitríona said, pointing to a candid of them sitting on a curb, sharing chips in the rain. "It's real. No makeup, no red carpet. Just us." Sam smiled. "Perfect." They drafted a post together. Words came slowly at first, then faster, like a river breaking through a dam. "We've seen the stories. We've read the headlines. But here's the truth. We're not at war. We're friends. We always have been. We've shared years of work, laughter, and support, and nothing you've read changes that. Don't believe everything you see. We're still here, together." They added the photo. No filters. No logos. Just them. Before hitting post, Caitríona hesitated. "Are we ready for the backlash?" Sam shrugged lightly. "We've already had it. At least now it's our words." They pressed share together. Within minutes the internet lit up again, but this time differently. Fans flooded the comments with relief and joy. "Finally the truth. We knew you two were still friends. This photo made me cry." Journalists scrambled to rewrite their stories. The new headline began to replace the old. "Sam Caitríona speak out, friendship stronger than rumors." Across town, Caitríona's phone buzzed. It was her mother. "Proud of you. That's how you handle it." Sam's own phone chimed with a text from an old castmate, "About time you two set the record straight." He smiled. Later that afternoon, they went for a walk by the river. No photographers followed them for once. Perhaps the drama was no longer profitable. The sky was clearing, a pale winter sun catching on the water. "I miss this," Caitríona said, pulling her coat tighter. "Walking without worrying about what it looks like." Sam glanced at her. "We can take it back," he said. "We don't have to live in their story." She breathed in the cold air. "Thank you," she said softly. "For meeting me. For not giving up." "Thank you," Sam replied. "For reminding me who we are." They walked on in silence, but it was a comfortable silence now, the kind born of years of knowing someone, of shared glances on set, of midnight texts during rough shoots. They didn't need to say more. As the sun broke through the clouds fully, a shaft of light fell across the river. Caitríona stopped, pulled out her phone, and snapped a photo of the view. "For us," she said. Sam laughed. "No hashtags. Ideographic period, no hashtags," she said. "Just memory." For the first time in months, they both felt light.